What's up, everybody? I'm outside of Planet Fitness right now, and I'm about to go through my workout. And I want to give you all a little bit of kind of like tips and things that I've learned over working out for, I've been working out pretty seriously for about the past like 4 or 5 months. And I want to give you all like some tips on form and mental and just like the real specifics of working out because I have spun my wheels in the same place for 2 years in the gym, and only in the past 4 months have I actually seen progress. I've done this all on my own. I mean, like, I have my dad and stuff like that to help me, but like, for the most part, I make my own decisions. So some of the decisions I make aren't the best. Some of the decisions I make help me out a lot. Some of the decisions I make are half baked. Some of the decisions I make are just like not all the way complete. So I feel like I'm getting a lot closer to what it really means to work out, and I wanna help you all by sharing some lessons I've learned, and I'll be just recording some of my workouts and letting you all know how I go about my form, pushing the weight. And since I go to Planet Fitness, a lot of these exercises, pretty much every single thing in this gym is assisted besides the free weights. So there's a key that I want to tell you all about lifting with these assisted machines to help you really get a contraction. First things first, everybody. I like to start with these rolling pins. I don't know. I like loosening up my body. I don't want a single kink in my body when I'm working out. I don't want my shoulder to feel like it needs to pop. So with this rolling pin, I hit every single part of my body humanly possible. Try and just get it loosened up. Next up, I'm going to break down the movement of doing a chest press to really activate your entire chest on these assisted machines. What's up, everybody? So I'm cutting in to truly explain this movement and how I'm getting the best contraction from it. At the very start of the movement, you have absolutely nothing going on. So I want to break this down to you in the best way that I possibly can. So the starting position of this movement is right here. I have to rasterize all three of these real quick. All right, so the starting position is here. The ending position is here. So let's draw a line from here to there. So as you can see, I literally just drew a line of the curve that is needed to complete this movement. And once I add in this middle piece, you're gonna see. So what happens is we go from this is the start to here. So we go from here to here. And once we get to this point, as you can see, we are kind of pushing upwards because this is a curve after all. So we're going up. And in this last part of the motion, we are pushing upwards. Like, we are pushing upwards more than we're pushing forward. So So as you can see, we have the start movement. You push forward, and then you push kinda upwards at the same time. The key to this is understanding the range of motion of the machine. This machine is made out of pure metal. It is not gonna budge, it is not gonna break, it is not gonna compensate. The only thing that compensates is you. You can push this machine in any kind of direction you want. You could push it upwards, it'll go forward. You could push it forward, it'll go forward and upwards. You could push it downwards and forward, it'll go like you won't activate the muscle that the machine is trying to activate. This is a rigid machine. So you want your form to be as great as possible, and this goes for every single assisted machine. This is an assisted machine because it's not the true exercise that this originates from. This originates from the bench press. This isn't a raw, strict bench press. This is a machine that makes uh, progressing to the bench press easier. But what I've noticed in my 2 years going to the gym is that I have a hard time getting a contraction from these machines. And the reason I have a hard time getting a contraction is because I'm not being strict with my movements. I'm not truly doing the movement as it would be if this was the true exercise. Now, this may be guided and assisted, but that doesn't mean that you can't follow the range of motion properly. Don't push to the outside. Don't push to the, I mean, sometimes push to the inside can activate your inner chest, but just push straight through the motion. Up, you go like that. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. You're not just pushing straight because this machine obviously curves upwards. You want to be consciously pushing throughout the entire movement to activate your chest in the different parts. At the start of this movement, at the start of this movement to right here, you're activating the lower chest region. By the end of the movement, you are activating the upper mid chest and the center. At the beginning, so this is like a full chest exercise. I wouldn't say that this is an upper in this area, but it's not like hitting like right here, but it's hitting like everything below that right here throughout the entire movement. Hitting lower chest. This is hitting like the entire chest, even the outsides of the chest. So you want to be very conscious of how you move the weight. I can't explain this any more than what it is. This was a breakthrough for me. All right, so we're on to the shoulder press, overhead press, however you want to call it. And as you can see, we'll be applying this exact same concept to this exercise, pushing straight up and behind me to a degree. I'd say just barely behind the top of my head. The reason we do this is because this is the range. This is the range of motion of the machine. You could push straight up, but that would be laziness on your part. If you push just straight up, you're missing the most important part of the exercise. All right, so we're on to the bicep curl. This one's very simple. First things first, get into the same position I'm into. Have your arm against the inside of your thigh. There's no really way to compensate in this position. You can kind of swing the weight a little bit if you try and use your leg to cheat, but that really just hurts your gains, so I wouldn't recommend it. And at the top of each rep, once you curl it, make sure you squeeze your bicep, like flex your bicep to get the blood flowing, and that's really it. I don't really hit my biceps as much as I should, but this is the form that helps me feel it the most in both sides. Also, make sure to do your hammer curls to hit the outside of that arm to give it a bit more definition. Follow the exact same concept, and you should be fine. You should be good. This is an exercise I just found out about maybe about 4 weeks ago. It's super good for your back, shoulder blade region. I would guess you could call it just like an arm raise, and yeah, just an arm raise. A tucked arm raise is what I would call it. So what you do for this one is you pack your arm, pack your back, kind of like squeezing your shoulder blades together. You call it pack in, tuck in, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it pack in, but pack the arm that you're going to do the rep with. Try and keep it in place and lift your arm above your head. Even with no weight, squeezing that arm to the back, like squeezing your shoulder blade to the center of your back and lifting your arm up is kind of a challenge. So that's something you could do without weight if you're very unfamiliar. If your back muscles are very weak, that's a good start. All right, so we're on to the tricep pull down. I'm doing these with one hand, lightweight, going high volume. I kind of enjoy it this way a bit more than the heavyweight because I'm starting to get to the point where at about 35 pounds, it starts to hurt my elbows a little bit, to be honest. So I'm thinking high volume might be the way on this one. What I like to do is pull down and turn my shoulder inwards to get like the maximum flexion for my tricep when I do the full extension. It's kind of like the bicep curl flex once you get all the way down to the bottom. And I think that's it. We've got ourselves a staple back exercise here, a back row, I guess you could call it. And the way that I like to do this exercise is, so I always grab the cord, first things first. I like this kind of dual bar. I don't even know exactly what to call this piece. It looks like a triangle, but I like to grab it and step back so that there's resistance on the pull. I'm not just pulling it and sitting it back. It's like it's always resistance. And when you pull it straight to your belly button, and you'll feel it along the bottom of your lats. It's like bottom of your upper back muscles. That's the only way I could put it, which I think is your lats. And super effective, staple exercise. I'm sure you could just keep going up and weight in this forever and just seeing the gains. Make sure that you pull through your elbows as well. All right, now I'll be the first to admit I'm not the biggest fan, or I wasn't the biggest fan of this machine until I realized something very, very good. Instead of hopping back and forth between a couple of different machines and also risking blowing up your knees on the squat rack, this machine is crazy good for one reason. If you put your foot in the middle of this plate, you can do, um, you could just push and it will hit the top of your leg, the top of your thigh. You can also add in, once you push off with your tippy toes. That's going to hit the calves at the end of the motion. As you can see, I'm doing it. I'm pushing with my tippy toes, and it's hitting my calf at the end of the motion. So we're hitting the top of our thighs, our calves. Now, if you lower your foot maybe 2 or 3 inches from the middle, you'll start to notice that the weight distribution is that you're pushing with more of your knee tendons. So now we're strengthening the knee tendons. And you can also push off with your tippy toes, get the calf muscle stretching too. And if you go even lower, it becomes just a all-out calf muscle workout. There's also calf muscle machines and stuff like that, but this machine can be used to hit your knee muscles, the muscles that surround your knee, the top of your thigh, and your calf muscles. 3 workouts in one machine. And then you just have to hit the lower leg with the leg curls. Very easy. There's like no strategy to that. It's as simple as it looks. But I thought this was very nice, and I wanted to share it with you all. Hey, that's the end of the workout, but this right here is just some posing that I've done. Just for the end of the workout, just like some progress pictures and stuff like that for another time in the future for me to look back at. I'm still bulking, and right now I'm up to 150 pounds. We went from 125 to 140, and now we've gained 10 pounds. We're 150. As you can see, my stomach doesn't really have as much definition, but that's fine. I don't really plan on cutting. I like this weight that I'm at. It feels good. I'm not really super heavy. I feel like I can manage my body. We still have to hit our right side chest, or we have to catch our right side chest up, but I'm not really too worried about it because I think stabilizing the rest of our muscles and getting our shoulders together, getting our back together, getting our stomach, our arms, all of that stuff is contributing to balancing out my body, so I don't have to just focus on one body part. Like my entire body is coming together in a way better way that I'm very happy with.